Exclusive.
Hey Red Eye, it's Aubrey Peeples. I'm here in Chicago for the Nashville tour. I hope you come out and see us.
Well, I know the cast also does like gigs once a month or so around Nashville just to kind of stay fresh and perform. What's the reaction at those bars when they're just going to see like an average show and they're like, oh wow, look, it's the cast of my favorite show?
Right. Well, we're really lucky. The town, Nashville has been so supportive. The city has been so supportive of us shooting, and everyone seems really excited. We haven't really gotten any poor reception. And the city has become such a part of the show, so it's kind of really cool, like these places that we sing at in real life are also places that our characters are singing at. So it's really cool. We've always had a warm reception, and I mean, it's a blast for us. We probably perform more than once a month, whether it's the Opry or around town at different venues.
In those settings, how much do people kind of expect you to be your TV character because they're seeing you in the world of the show?
I don't know. I hope they don't expect me to be Layla because she's not always very nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they expect us to be our character, but regardless, they seem to enjoy it. And it's a really good opportunity for us to be, ourselves as well and get our own music out there.
You've said that it's fun to fight with people in general, so you kind of like the conflict on the show. What's the first time you remember being aware of enjoying that interaction with someone, being argumentative? Would your family say this about you too?
Oh gosh, probably. I did debate growing up, so I'm a pain. But I don't know. When I was younger and I did a lot of musical theater and started, getting little co-starring roles on random TV shows, I was cast a lot as the snob. And I realized pretty quickly that it's really fun. It's a good outlet, and certainly Layla gets all my anger out. I mean, she gets all my self-destruction out and all of my negativity, so I can have a pretty normal life outside of her.
What would you say was your kind of trademark when you were doing debate when you were younger? What did were people like afraid of you when you showed up?
No, well, I mean, it kind of depends. So basically, the first year I did debate, we all had to do every single event. And so that meant that I had to do a lot of debating events. But there's actually this whole other side to forensics, which is called interpretation. They're actually acting events, which is really weird. And people don't realize that. But so I started out doing debate. I learned all of that. And I had to write speeches and stuff and be really combative with people in class and in tournaments. And then I, pretty quickly switched to interpretation because, I love acting and whatnot. And I did win a lot locally. The first year I won every single local competition. So I don't know if I was intimidating, but I mean, it was certainly fun pretending. But then, I mean, I never really went anywhere nationally or anything big deal like that. But I mean, I had a blast.
Can you think of like the most fired up that you ever got in that situation?
Oh gosh, so much. It's very competitive. I stopped doing it after 3 years because it was too stressful. But I mean, it's really fun.
Is Jeff Fordham misunderstood or just a total dick?
Both. I don't know. I think it's interesting. They brought Christina Aguilera on to kind of give him a backstory, I think, in a way. I mean, plus she's Christina Aguilera, but her character kind of offered a look into his vulnerable side. And same with Layla. It's really interesting. You have these two characters who, they're not evil, but they do evil things in a way. And then you put them together and they fall for each other, and then it makes them vulnerable. So I think the audience, in a way, has kind of become to root for us, which is really weird because we're very manipulative and we're kind of the villains of the show. But yet people, I think, like us and empathize with us in a weird way.
I've definitely come to root for you. I don't know if I'm rooting for Jeff as much.
Not yet, yeah. Well, good.
How would you describe the challenge of becoming Jem versus becoming Layla, and the difference of being kind of a country star versus a pop star?
Absolutely. They're very different characters. Layla, she's always been really fiery and really go-getter. She really wants this. She didn't even really have anything to say musically. Yet she really wanted to do it. She likes being out there. She wants to be famous, all of these things. But Jerrica/Jem doesn't want any of that. She is very quiet. She doesn't even like being on home videos. She's very much the caregiver to the family and to her sisters. She's always had to take care of them because they don't have a mom, they don't have a dad anymore. So she's very much wants to stay out of the spotlight, and it's kind of been thrust upon her. So they deal with it very differently, obviously. And funnily enough, Jerrica/Jem deals with it a lot better than Layla does, I think. Layla, I think, is learning a lot along the way. And, Jem has had to kind of be the adult for a long time.
How do you think Jem would be treated in Nashville?
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, definitely, it's much more pop, the music that we're doing in Jem. It's very radio friendly to what's going on right now. I think it's going to be super accessible to teens and whatnot. But I don't know. Definitely the music that is on our film is not really so much what you would find in Nashville, but Nashville has so many different musical styles coming through it that I don't really know.
What's another animated series that if they were doing a live action adaptation you would want to get in on?
I would say Scooby-Doo, but they already did that. I don't know. That's a really good question. I'd have to think about that.
Well, what about just something you enjoyed watching as a kid that was like
I always watched like Bugs Bunny and all that stuff. My mom never let me watch very many cartoons, so I just watched the classics and that's about it.
Looney Tunes character you related to most?
Ooh. I don't know. What's the cat's name with the bird, Tweety Bird and Sylvester? I liked Sylvester.
Why do you like Sylvester?
I don't know. He's manipulative, and maybe I relate to that as Layla. I don't know. I just thought it was a deep character for a cartoon. You know, he's always trying to kill this bird.
Yeah, interesting to go after one of the villains. I feel like.
I don't know. I like the villains.
Well, I thought it was interesting that you said that when you auditioned for Gem, you didn't actually know what you were auditioning for.
No, they didn't release that it was Gem and the Holograms. It had a different name.
So what did you think what were you told in advance?
Well, it was definitely, this musical film, and the sides were different. We knew that they were kind of fake audition sides along the process as we were getting more and more into it. It was called Pink Moon originally, and it was just, it was just a standby name so people wouldn't know. The news wasn't supposed to get out yet. And so I didn't know what Gem and the Holograms was, honestly, to begin with. And so during my screen test, I think it was, the director was like, we're doing Gem and the Holograms. That's what this is. I was like, no way! But I had no idea what it was. But then I did research.
And then after you said no way, you're like, what?
Yeah. But then I, did all my homework and whatnot and became totally exposed to this whole culture that I had no idea existed. And I'm hoping that that's what the film will do for people who didn't know what it was before. And I love it. It's so cool.
How do you think the younger version of you would react if you found out that, as I'm sure you will when Gem comes out, that you would have like a doll version of yourself?
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I can't even believe it. They actually just sent me like the test for it, like what it's going to look like. But all they have so far is just the head, no makeup, just like the shape of the head.
They sent you
a head? So they sent me a head with no hair, no makeup. I was like, that's terrifying. Oh my God. But it's still pretty crazy as a concept. I can't believe it. I certainly wouldn't have believed it. And I was never into dolls really either. So I bought them. I was always asking for them because all the other kids had them and I would just never play with them. So it's kind of funny.
Did you keep the head somewhere?
I don't know. I don't know if I still have any of the Barbie heads. I never destroyed them. I was never that creepy as a child. I never killed the dolls or took them apart.
Well, you didn't put the test head for Gem on your mantle or something?
No. I don't have it. They just sent me pictures of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would totally keep that,
That's slightly less disturbing, I suppose.
I wonder if I could get a hold of one now that you mentioned.
You're just going to get a giant box of your own head, which is so weird.
It was very bizarre. I was like, that's what I look like with no eyes and no mouth, just like these sockets.
You're obviously brilliant, deferring Harvard, very talented already. We can see. What's something you've never been good at?
Oh gosh, drawing, anything involving balance. I'm very clumsy. I was a dancer for a long time, but I was always the worst kid in class, except for tap dancing. I still retain that. But ballet, forget it. I still try and get back into it every now and then just for fun and exercise, and I'm so bad at it.
Could you showcase your tap abilities just so we know that you're telling the truth here?
I could. I don't know if it would work in these shoes.
It's a hard
Do you want me to try?
Sure, yeah. Let's see.
Okay, I don't know if it would work in these shoes. Just a little snippet, just a little bit.
That was
I
awesome.
need my shoes, but yeah, I haven't done it in a long time, but I would do it all the time for musical theater and whatnot.
I hear you have quite a good Nicolas Cage impression.
Oh no, I don't. People just always ask me to do it because I work with him. It's so funny. But gosh, I don't even know what I could do. We asked him, when it was his last day of shooting, what he does is a celebration for the end of something. And he was like, well, he basically said that he likes to eat a bucket of fried chicken. I don't know if that's secret information or not, but he likes to eat some fried chicken after he's done because, most actors are pretty good to their bodies and whatnot, so that's his indulgent moment. And then someone was like, that's hilarious. And he was like, there's nothing hilarious about fried chicken. So I don't know. That's my impersonation. It's not good at all.
No, I like that.
I can't do impersonations, but he's the nicest guy. He's so cool.
I know you have an interest in journalism. How much do you reflect after you do interviews? Do Do you like process that in terms of your interest in journalism?
Honestly, if it's a magazine interview, normally I'm like frustrated with the grammar. I'm not even kidding. I'll be like, gosh, I wish I could edit this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty critical of everything in general. I think most people are, of what they put out there. But yeah, I love to write in general. And so that's kind of what I was thinking of doing, you know, if I went to college, which I'm still hoping to do one day. I would love to go to Harvard within the next few years. But that's kind of what I was thinking of doing, is something within the writing realm, whether it's, you know, some sort of journalism. I don't think they have an undergraduate journalism program, but something in that realm was what I was
Are you
looking
reading
to do.
all the stuff about you at this point then? Or
well, I definitely read all the interviews that I do. I don't really like look myself up and try and hurt my own feelings. So, but yeah, I guess in a way. I mean, I try and keep tabs of, you know, what I'm putting out there is respectful and everything. The city has become such a part of the show, so it's kind of really cool, you know, like these places that we sing at in real life are also places that our characters are singing
right.
at. So it's really cool. We've always had a warm reception, and I mean, it's a blast for us. We probably perform more than once a month, whether it's the Opry or around town. I expect us to be our character, but regardless, they seem to enjoy it, and it's a really good opportunity for us to be, you know, ourselves as well and get our own music out there.
You've said that it's fun to fight with people in general, so you kind of like the conflict on the show. What's the first?
At different venues.
In those settings, how much do people kind of expect you to be your TV character because they're seeing you in the world of the show?
I don't know. I hope they don't expect me to be Layla because she's not always very nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they...
Bars when they're just going to see like an average show, they're like, oh wow, look, it's the cast of my favorite show.
Right. Well, we're really lucky. The town, you know, Nashville has been so supportive, the city has been so supportive of us shooting, and everyone seems really excited. We haven't really gotten any poor reception. And this...
Exclusive.
Hey Red Eye, it's Aubrey Peeples. I'm here in Chicago for the Nashville tour. I hope you come out and see us.
Well, I know the cast also does like gigs once a month or so around Nashville just to kind of stay fresh and perform. What's the reaction at those?